Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For those tuning in on the radio side of WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also joining us online worldwide via our podcast at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music. We're glad you all could be with us as well. When I say the name DMX, you think about a talented artist, songwriter, and actor, and he's someone that even since his passing has been able to impact people through the music and the impact he's been able to have on the lives of many. Well, there's a special presentation that's taking place in Los Angeles in July that's going to be paying tribute to the departed hip-hop legend, and it's something that all of you can be a part of. It's called The Rise of Darkman X. Here to talk to us about it, we're excited to welcome co-producers Jonah Levine as well as Teacher Superior. They're going to talk to us not only about what it's been like for them to have this unreleased material that they'll be sharing with the world, but what it hopes it does and be able to keep the memory of DMX alive, but also the impact he's been able to make on music lovers and those that just, of course, just enjoy good artistry as well. Thanks to the two of you for the time today. Really appreciate it.
So much for having us.
What's good? What's good? DJ Superior in the building.
Hey, look, glad to have the both of you on with us. Teacher Superior, I'm going to start with you. I mean, when we think about DMX, there's so many layers to the man, right? And I think we've gotten to know that more even now, 3 years after his passing, which is hard to believe it's already been 3 years. Teacher Superior, what has it been like for you to continue to be able to share not only the impact of DMX, but also the legacy he's left behind?
Well, with me, man, I feel partly like he's still here. Because I was a part of him. So his part, he might not be here, but his spirit is in, me and the others. We had a team called GOG, Gangsters of the Ghetto. We're all still here. But he's definitely missed. He's missed with his conversations. We used to fuss and fight all the time like brothers, but he's definitely missed. He's missed.
Yeah. And, Jonah, what about for yourself? I mean, through the Rise of Darkman X, of course, you're going to be able to share, unreleased footage that people have not been able to experience. But what has it been like for you to see the impact that DMX continues to make even today?
I mean, watching the rise of an artist is one thing, but watching the rise of an artist who eventually became, truly a number one artist time after time after time, that's a totally different story. And watching the process of how that works, especially in today's day and age with social media, you think you see one side of an artist's life and you don't, but this is all real footage, real audio, demos of songs, number ones, no AI. This is all 100% analog footage and content. So watching all of that is really inspiring, especially, for the younger generation, I think.
Yeah, so you bring up a really good point, and for those who don't know about how this all came together with the Rise of Darkman X, John, I'm going to let you pick up there, and then DJ Superior, feel free to chime in. How did the idea for this come about to be able to make this presentation available for the world?
So initially, I had someone had gotten in touch with me and said, "Hey, I'm working with this guy DJ Superior who has a documentary, and I wanted to come take a look at it." So I got in touch with Superior, and he was like, "Hey, I don't really show this to a lot of people. I don't really know." I spoke with him. I told him why I wanted to see it. And as I was watching it, I had noticed that there's all this footage and all this unreleased material that was in this documentary. So separately, I said, "Hey, do you happen to have all of this material? Do you have all this separated, all the raw footage, these interviews of, Jinx and Jadakiss and X and, Wah and D and all these people?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, of course I got all that. What are you talking about? I shot everything. I filmed everything. I recorded everything." And I was like, what do you mean you recorded everything?" And he shows me hundreds of songs, all sorts of stuff, collaborations, solo joints, projects, albums that have not come out, that might never come out. Maybe they will. But at the end of the day, I decided to, put together a pitch for him and say, "Hey, what if we did this as a presentation, as a live show, so that people can really experience what it is? You put out an album, that's great. There's music and there's a story in the album, but it's different when you could put out music and footage and have someone like Superior who is there, who captured it, actually talk about it and give you the context that you usually don't get when you're just listening to an album or just watching a documentary."
Yeah, yeah. And to that point, and social media, we'll talk about it, but DJ Superior, I want to ask you, because one of the things that, as Jonah was talking, I think about how at the time, and this is how it is, I think, with all of us, which is why I think documenting is so important, right? Because at the time, DJ Superior, did you realize that you were capturing something special, something that would be timeless?
Yes, I knew what I was doing, and he's the one that told me to make sure I did it. Because he was like, yo, dog, later you be good, dog. Like, record everything. So I just kept recording stuff, because I knew we was going to eventually make history. And I was able to do these other deals that I did, like VH1 DMX Behind the Music. I licensed the footage to them. And I did Rough Rider Chronicles. I licensed the footage to them. So I own the footage. So it was good to do this. And now I want the world to see what we're going to do for this show.
Right, right. And, Jonah, what about for you? I mean, both of you being in the creative space, the producer space, I mean, this is a great lesson, right, Jonah, for artists, for all content creators, I believe, really, right, about the importance of documenting. What do you hope artists take away from this as they're watching this, the importance of, no matter how little it may seem, or, the importance of really making sure you get this stuff so that you can be able to have it?
I think it's funny because I'm 100% in support of artists taking content, but there's something different about this sort of content that we're talking about that's in the show versus content that you might shoot on your phone, because the content from the show or the things that Superior was able to capture, this is everything. It's the good, the bad, the ugly, the blood, the tears. It's the whole entire process versus now on social media, you only post the best shit. So I think at the end of the day, watching artists, capture content, I'm always a fan of, do everything you can to show the real side of what's actually going on. Everyone can put up, hey, I got this many streams or I got this many followers, but no one actually knows how much work and effort that takes. So I like the fact that we're going to be able to show that, especially for someone who, a lot of people hold true to their heart.
Yeah. Data Superior, one of the things we're able to see in some of the footage that you all shared that's on social is going back to 1988 and seeing DMX there rapping in what looks like a store. Talk to us about what that's like for you. I think about what you said about it's like he's still here. What was it like for you to go back through that footage and to see not only, of course, the music, but also to be able to see, as Jonah was just saying, which is a really good point, the highs and the lows of this man and the artist.
Man, it was just good to see where we came from. You know what I'm saying? So it was building him up. Everything that he was going through and everything that he was doing, he just wrote about. Like he told me, there's songs that me and him did. A lot of those songs you heard with Def Jam, we did a lot of those songs way before the deal. So Slippin', that was a big record for him. We did that in 91, 92. We had that done already, So, like I said, it's just showing everything that we built, the early stuff, his hunger and everything, and it's good to see it. Because I haven't looked at it in a while. So when I went over it, it was a little emotional a little bit looking at that stuff. But I know he's looking down. He wants the world to know what he's done. What we done. Yeah.
Yeah. Jonah, to that point, as I mentioned, of course, this presentation is paying tribute to the DMX that shared this journey July 11th, 12th, and 13th. We're going to let our audience know where they can go to get tickets here in a bit. It's kicking off in Los Angeles. When I first was told about this, and shout out to Double Exposure Media Relations for letting me know about this, I was wondering, is this just the beginning? How do you see this unfolding when it comes to the rise of Darkman X?
In my opinion, we have so much material that we could do the show 50 times over, and it'd be different every time. And so, initially for July 11th, 12th, and 13th, which is in Los Angeles at the Latino Company, where you can find tickets at LatinoTheaterCo.org/DarkmanX. But after those three events, we want to really be able to perfect it and put something together that, A, we can put out online for some people, but then continue to bring a lot of the unreleased things that can't go online around the country and further, so that we can get as much as many people educated about not only the rise of different artists, but also the ability to make things and hold them and produce them into something that becomes very, very popular.
Right. Jonah, stay with you for a second. I'm going to ask you a similar question, DJ Superior, though. You mentioned earlier, which was a really good point, a lot of times, of course, you guys are using social, but a lot of artists are just using it as a highlight reel. What do you hope artists in particular, creators in particular, Jonah, take away from seeing the rise of Darkman X and the real passion and artistry of the man that was DMX?
That you need to have a team. You need to have people around you that support you. And sometimes you don't know if that team is really supporting you or if they're just holding you up, for their own gain, which I think you learn a lot about in our presentation, but also having a good community, being in touch with the local community, doing things that help other people, all of that, you can be, if you work at a bank, you can be creative and artistic. If you're a painter, you can be creative and artistic, whether you have social media or not. It's really about making something and helping people. And in this case, what we've made is some sort of show that's going to be able to show people that, hey, being an artist is not easy, doable, and there's things that need to happen, and there's risks you got to take. And I think as long as you have a team that's there to support you, just like Superior was there for X and X was there for Superior, as long as you have that, you'll be successful however you define that,
Yeah. DJ Superior, as he was just talking, I thought about what you said about what X said to you about, later on you'd be good if you documented everything. I want to ask you the same question, though. What do you hope artists in particular, those who are who look at DMX as someone that they emulate, or even you someone that they emulate, what do you hope they're able to take away from this?
Well, the thing is, I want the artists to look at it like this. A lot of artists, this world got a lot of artists, and a lot of them is doing music for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I want them to feel like you're not doing it for nothing. Me and X might have thought we was doing it for nothing, We had deals that came and went in the beginning that we was with Rough House Columbia. They dropped the ball. So I know when we got signed to Def Jam, I know somebody got fired over there. But what I'm saying is, somebody got fired. But what I'm saying is it's good to do songs, and nothing is old until the world hears it. So what I'm saying to all these artists out there, keep recording, keep doing what you're doing. So I'm letting you see somebody who sold millions of records when he was nobody, but we kept working. And that's what I want to show with this movie, the hard work, what we had to do. And he had a drug problem, but he still was able to go knock these songs out. So I want to show people, even if somebody's going through something in life, you never know where this can go.
Wow. Well, I want to thank the two of you for taking out the time. I know you all are busy with the press for this, but I'm so glad we had a chance to share it with our artists. Again, everyone, DJ Superior and Jonah Levine have been joining us as co-producers of The Rise of Darkman X, as a visual presentation paying tribute to hip-hop legend DMX. Again, it's going to be taking place in Los Angeles, July 11th, 12th, and 13th. And, Jonah, let our audience know where they can go for ticket information and to find out more.
They can go to the Rise of Darkman X on Instagram. You get tickets at latinotheatercode.org/DarkmanX. Reach out to Double Exposure. Shout out GOG, shout out No Fun, LA. Anything else, Superior, you want to add?
Big shout out to all of y'all, and big shout out to you for having us for this show. And thank you for the questions that you asked, because sometimes people don't ask the right questions. So I'm shout out to you for asking the right question.
Yeah, it was very meaningful and much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Well, look, it's our pleasure. I'm one of these people who love to look past the music and actually look at the person. And I think that when we talk about impact and legacy, you can't talk about that without talking about DMX. So I want to thank again the two of you for doing this. It's going to be really powerful. I know people really appreciate it, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, more than welcome. We thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.